What's up, YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to be doing my top 5 cornerbacks for the 2026 NFL Draft. Let's go ahead and get right into it. At number 5, I've got Chris Johnson from San Diego State. He's 6 foot and 3/8, 193 pounds. He's shown the ability to play both inside and out. Good back pedal, very disciplined player, great, good footwork and technique. Attacks the ball really well. Good wrap up tackler. Sometimes can lose to some bigger receivers, and also bigger running backs might be able to give him a hard time trying to tackle. Recovery speed is a little bit average when beaten. Can sometimes be a little bit slower to transition, so I want to see him improve on that. But he's very good in both man and zone. Probably better in zone than man, if I had to say. Not as athletically gifted as some of the other prospects, but he's very technically sound. Might need some safety help against the faster receivers in the NFL. Um, but I have a very solid second round grade on him, and I think he is kind of being slept on, to be honest. Um, Moving on to number 4, we've got Colton Hood from Tennessee. He's 5'11 and 5/8, 193 pounds as well. Very physical guy in press, good punch, has the speed you're looking for. Um, Sometimes can get lost with route recognition in zone, but overall is still pretty decent in zone. Um, he's willing to come down and tackle people, which I love. Hips can get a little bit stiff sometimes. May struggle with more shifty wide receivers, like better route runners and stuff like that. He also tends to get a little bit grabby, which could probably end up with some penalties at the next level. Ball tracking is something I kind of want to see him improve on. His instincts are lacking a little bit. I would say he's probably better in man coverage than zone. Um, but as a tackler, he doesn't really change direction super well. Uh, he is pretty good at boxing people out when he does locate the football, which is great. Plays with good leverage. Decent stopping power actually for a corner too. I see this guy more primarily as a outside corner. I don't really see him moving to the slot a whole lot, just because he doesn't change direction super well. Um, so it's interesting, right? Because like Chris Johnson at 5 is more technically sound than Colton Hood, but the athleticism kind of gives Colton Hood the nod. Um, so it's kind of something you just kind of have to work out. And moving on to number 3, Colton Hood's teammate, Jermod McCoy. He's 6 foot and 3/4, 188 pounds. He did have an ACL tear in 2025, so that is something you'll have to think about. Um, Hips and feet are very smooth, good, great transitions, great long speed. Acceleration is a little bit average though, but good recovery speed overall. Good in press coverage. Ball skills are solid. Actually, really good. Actually, great at the catch point. Good instincts and physicals. Top tier speed guys might be a problem, especially if they got really good burst. But I do think he has enough. Not as good a tackler as the previous 2 people, but the ball skills really speak for themselves. Um, in 2023 and 2024, he had 16 passes defended with 6 interceptions. So that will kind of tell you. And like I said, he had an ACL tear in 2025. So there's that. I do think he's good in both man and zone. Um, he also overlaps in zones really well. Um, the big concern really is that ACL tear. So we'll see. But moving on to number 2, we've got Avion Terrell from Clemson. He's 5'10 and 3/4, 186 pounds. And he is the brother of AJ Terrell. Very athletic, fluid movement, good transitions, has the speed you need, good impress man coverage, especially. Can struggle sometimes with 50-50 balls against like the really big receivers. Good technique when the ball's in the air, though. He's a willing but smaller tackler. Can play both inside and out. Um, Average route awareness and zone. I do want to see him improve on that. Stays low on his hips, which I love. Very competitive guy. Finds the football well. Good ball tracking. Ball skills are solid. Is very good at ripping the football out. Actually, has forced 8 fumbles, which is really awesome. Um, Good effort to get off blocks too. His lack of size can hurt him sometimes, both as a tackler and, like I said, against some of the bigger receivers. But overall, I really do like him a lot. All right, moving on to number one, we've got Mansour Delane. I think this guy is most people's number one corner. He's 5'11 and 3/4, 187 pounds. Great in press coverage, smooth hips and feet, good mental processing, good top speed. Needs to get his head around a little bit quicker sometimes when the ball's in the air. But the good thing is he doesn't panic either. But he could end up with some penalties at the next level for not getting his head around. But good ball skills. He actually had a core injury in 2025 and played an elite level through that injury, so that shows a little bit of grit there too. Can get a little bit handsy as well, so that could cause some penalties at the next level. Sometimes in deeper zone coverages, like cover 3, he can get fooled a little bit. Needs to work on finding the football sometimes on deep throws as well. Like I said, the ball tracking. Extremely athletic. Like I said, I do think he is better in man than zone. Great at the catch point. Tackling is actually really solid for the position as well. I think this guy is a very solid early first round talent. I was nitpicking for sure, especially with the deep zone stuff. He actually is decent at it, but it is something I do want to see him improve on. And when you're talking about someone who could be drafted in the top 10, top 5, you do have to be very nitpicky. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.